how much further can you pick 3 more?
We're about done. We're about done. We you know, there's recruiting, as you know, is a always changing process. I mean, you know, you never know. I mean, if you'd have told me last year going into the season that DeStefano was going to not be able to play anymore and Gift Timothy was not going to be able to play anymore, I would have never believed you. So things happen in football. I mean, you just don't know. Sometimes guys will leave. Sometimes guys get hurt. There's a lot of different factors, so it's hard to ever say, you know, this is it, because sometimes you just have to respond and react, but you also have to have a plan. And for us last year, for example, you know, we had a couple of juniors leave that I didn't think would leave. And so now all of a sudden they're gone. But you have to plan that everybody's going to be here. And so it's just a dynamic that you have to keep your finger on all the time. But as far as where we are right now without playing a game in 2014, we're about done. I mean, we've got 1 or 2 spots left, and you know, we're going to call it a day, and happy to do it. You know, I don't get buyer's remorse. You know, I mean, a lot of people sometimes you never want to stop because, you know, you always find this other player, the grass is always greener. And for me, you know, I love the guys that say, hey, this is what I want to do. We evaluate, we rank, and we say, okay, here's our guys that we're going to offer. Here's the guys that we're going to try to recruit. And, you know, once we stay within that family and we get those guys, hey, we don't look back. And we're going to take 2 quarterbacks. We got 2 quarterbacks. There's a lot of great quarterbacks out there. But, hey, I'm committed to those guys just like they're committed to me. And loyalty is a 2-way street in that regard. So, you know, you fill your needs, and when you're done, and you move on. So anything can happen. But you know, we had a couple of years ago, we had, you know, we thought we were done in a couple areas, and we had a couple guys, you know, back out on us on the last minute. So that happens. So next thing you know, you got to respond that way. But it just never stops, you know, changing.
I think everybody's kind of seen the videos of the coaches that have been put out there. Can you talk about Dan, you know, allotting the money to hire these guys to do this, and then kind of what your target audience is with these videos?
Well, it's just a part of our program. I mean, we're always, you know, trying to get better, always trying to improve. You're always trying to recruit. Recruiting never stops, and you know, sometimes I think, you know, part of what we do that doesn't always get noticed is we have a lot of fun. You know, we have a lot of fun. We've got a great staff, and you know, some of those things are just, you know, good ideas that somebody on our staff comes up with, or somebody in our sports information staff comes up with, and you know, you capture some of the personalities, and it's just you know, it's fun, and just shows a different side of, you know, maybe a coach. You know, Coach Brooks. We all see Coach Brooks, for example. He's a pretty stern-looking guy, but you know what? He's got a great sense of humor, and so sometimes you use those things to, you know, just reflect a different side of a coach or your program or whatever. But it's been fun. We got a lot of time on our hands, I guess, in the summer. So.
Were you excited yesterday to see Deshaun had picked up about 20 pounds?
Yeah, he weighed in 204. You know, I think he came in here at 183 or 4, I guess, was right where he was. And so 204, and, you know, not just him. In fact, I really complimented the guys last night. We had a lot of guys do a great job. We had a few guys not do as good a job as I wanted them to. But for the most part, our guys, they look great. I mean, you take a guy like Stanton Seconder that weighs in 241 pounds, you know, that's a commitment. I mean, that takes a commitment in, you know, not just eating, but he put it on the right kind of way. You know, we really measure with our bod pods, you know, how the body's changed, for the composition of the body changes from your fat composition and your muscle mass, and how those things, and to see what some of these guys did with their bodies this summer, it's incredible. You know, to see a guy, you know, lose this amount of fat, add this amount of muscle, is impressive. And, you know, Stanton's one of those guys. You know, David Beasley was a guy that came in here and you know, he was 346, 348 in the spring, and just out of shape. And I think he weighed in at 322. And that's a commitment. You got to work to get your body where you need to be able to compete at the highest level.